Can I have a motion to call the meeting to order? No? Thank you. Ms. Kais, Mr. Long, who's already causing trouble. All in favor? The vote is unanimous. The meeting is now in session. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. All right, we have the pleasure of starting with our GC Pride Awards tonight.
Good evening, President Coffey, Superintendent Daly, the rest of the board, and esteemed guests. My name is Rebecca Scott. I am principal at Neil Armstrong Elementary School, and with me is Mrs. Lindsay Georger, assistant principal. We have some GC Pride awards that we would like to distribute. We have one family that is still signing in, so I'm going to go out of alphabetical order. We actually are honoring 4 students and one staff member that works with us who unfortunately went home ill at the very end of the day. So I will talk about our staff member first. Mrs. Cassie Kappen is our community school site coordinator. She is with us through a partnership with Center for Youth, and Cassie has been instrumental in leading our community school pilot for this school year. Up until this point, we have been getting a lot of input, feedback, needs and assessments from the community, families, and our staff. And Cassie has been very helpful in connecting us with community partners and other resources. We will talk about that a little bit more later in our presentation. But Mrs. Cassie Kappen is one of our GC Pride Award recipients. We also are going to honor 2 3rd grade students and 2 5th grade students. At Armstrong, we love to have students have voice and choice in the classroom. And our 3rd grade students this year that we want to honor are Adam Elmley and Madison Flores. Adam and Madison, if you could come up and stand next to me. So Adam and Madison are members of our Extreme Weather Club. One of the things that we've worked on at Armstrong is getting student input in finding out what they're excited about. So you'll hear from them momentarily during our presentation, and it looks like Adam brought some props with him to tell you about all of the fun things that they do in the Extreme Weather Club. That's one of our new clubs at Armstrong this year. So Adam and Madison, here are your awards. And if you want to wait right here, I'm going to talk about our other 2 students, and then we'll get some pictures, okay? All right. Good. Our next 2 students are 5th graders. Both of them are on student council. They were elected into student council by their peers. And they had a meeting just last week where they voted and recommended the president, vice president, and secretary of that organization. The first one that I would like to call up is Jason Beach. Jason, you want to come up? Jason is a 5th grader that has been at Armstrong since he was in 3rd grade. And he is by far, he had more posters up campaigning for student council than anybody, talking about how he's a good Spartan, how he demonstrates the Spartan way, the things he wants to advocate for. Additionally, Jason is one of our safety patrol members, so he is always making sure, especially that our younger students are following what our expectations are. Jason, here's your certificate. And then I'd like to call up Lily Bavenzi. Lily Bavenzi is another 5th grade student. She is on student council, and we have, is there about 13 kids on student council, 13 or 14 from memory? So these are 2 representatives from our student council, and Lily is also one of the founding members of the Taylor Swift fan club that is new to Armstrong this year. You'll hear a little bit more about that, but I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge some of our brightest and best Armstrong stars, because they are, wait to hear from them. They are very passionate, they love what they do, they ask great questions, and they will be leaders in Gates Tri-Li as they go through our schools. Thank you.
All right, you guys are going to go take your picture. Any of you families, if you want to, go right ahead and take pictures too. Congratulations, you guys, and thank you for all your hard work for your school. That moves us forward to agenda changes.
We change to personnel.
Thank you. For board president's comments, I wanted to take a moment and thank everybody for their hard work and participation for the homecoming events that occurred this past week. There were many, many people on campus at all different types of events. We had our marching band, we had our athletes, we had so many people supporting fundraisers for the food. There are kids and parents everywhere, there are staff members everywhere, so it was a great feeling of community. Also wanted to recognize that many of our schools are recognizing Red Ribbon Week with different activities, different Spirit Day type events, really doing a lot of learning and community building around those efforts. And the Board of Education really kind of tries to embed and embody the different values of our community, and part of those being modeling and participating in ongoing learning and collaboration with our peers as well, to make sure that we're able to do the best job we can to support our families, our schools, and our kids. And in an effort to continue that learning, we've had several board members over the past few weeks participate in some different conferences and conventions, different opportunities to learn from other professionals, other school board members across different parts of the country. So we had some members participate in the New York State School Board convention, with some of the highlights or some of the main focuses of this particular opportunity of learning having to do around data supporting school safety, mental health, digital learning, community engagement, and student achievement and empowerment. We also have a couple board members right now attending the CUBE conference to expand their learning. So we have 2 members not here tonight because they're participating in that learning. Some of the different focuses of this particular learning opportunity have to do with navigating challenges of board leadership, empowering families, pathways to graduation, learning to support equity, especially in environments that either are really supportive of equity or some who may have different approaches or visions around what equity may look like, and really looking at schools as community hubs to make sure we're supporting everybody's needs, whether it's adults, children, or everybody around us. There are also future opportunities throughout the year to make sure that we're all engaging in that learning and taking some ownership over it, because that is part of our job here, is to make sure that we're learning and constantly growing to know how to best support our schools. And finally, I wanted to just welcome Neil Armstrong tonight. We've got some of our families here. As you just saw, we have some GC Pride Award winners here tonight. I can't wait to hear more about that. But also for your parents and for your school staff to be here to support the work you're doing as well. We appreciate you all coming out on a Tuesday evening when, you might want to be doing some other things before you go to bed. So thank you guys. That moves us forward to points of interest. Do we have any to share? Mr. Moscato?
I had the opportunity to attend the high school drama or play, Sam Shovel. I think the students and staff did a great job. I also liked the fact it was somewhat short, it was only an hour, so past my bedtime. But it was good. They did a nice job. Sam Shovel, it takes a while to realize that's a play on Sam Spade, a private detective. So the thing was full of puns. It worked out well. The kids did a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional points of interest? Ms. Kais?
A couple weeks ago, I attended the Dallas Brass concert that was held by our music department, and let me tell you, it was a fabulous concert. So enjoyable. Every piece of music they played was something you would recognize, and they went through history of music, so different centuries, decades, periods of time, composers. The kids got up on stage, high school kids played with the Dallas Brass, and they sounded amazing. Middle school kids also came up and played. Just nice to see that number of kids playing on stage. And the tickets were very reasonably priced for families. It was $5 a ticket. You just couldn't get better entertainment than that. Also attended homecoming. Saw a lot of you guys there. And Troy was our wearer of spirit wear there with his stickers. Appreciate that. Lots of support for the band and the football team and our students in general. Seems like it was a really good turnout.
Thank you. Ms. Littlewood?
I just wanted to thank the district and the board for supporting our attendance to the New York State School Board Conference in New York City recently. We were able to attend multiple sessions, and the two that stuck out to me were one about attendance. Ironically, it was my old college RA that was presenting from Schenectady, so I was able to connect with her. But they did discuss how attendance isn't back to where it used to be post-COVID and all the strategies that they're doing to implement students to attend school more. One of them was their team. They don't just send like one home liaison, they go in a group. So there's like 5 people standing in a teenager's bedroom trying to get them to get out of bed and go to school, which makes them get up a little more, they said, but they had multiple strategies and ideas, and it was good to make that connection to be able to reach out to her if I ever have any other questions. And then also, I went to a session on the decline in related services, specifically OT, PT, speech, and nursing, and it was a private company presenting with a superintendent from a BOCES in Western New York, and the private company charges a fee and partners with school districts because it's such a shortage, and they discuss the future shortage being speech pathology being really difficult in the future and how terrible that is going to be in the future and how we should welcome students if there's a program anywhere. I learned SUNY or Buff State doesn't have speech pathology anymore either. So they discussed that and the shortage and how to help cover those spaces. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional points? Ms. Davis?
So I also attended New York State School Board Association conference last week, and I went to a session with Dr. Betty Rosa, Commissioner of New York State Ed, where she talked a little bit more about the work that's being done for the Portrait of a Graduate in New York State, alternative paths to graduation, as well as the seals of biliteracy and civic readiness, which we are ahead of the game and already doing both. So it's good to know that we were on the right path for that. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to ask you then, Mr. Long.
I also attended the New York State School Board Convention, and I attended some of the same sessions, but a different one that I went to was on foundation aid and the impact on district budgets. New York State the Roosevelt Institute is doing a study right now that's due to the governor's office December 1st, and hopefully we'll get some more information as we start to build our budget. So that was really helpful, especially as like a newer board member, for me to understand how that's evolved over the years.
Thank you.
I did not attend any cool conferences. However, I just wanted to say thank you to the district for allowing the town to hold a trunk or treat event here this past Sunday. We had about 1,000 people come through the front loop of the high school bus loop here. So it was crazy to see probably about 700 kids dressed up and had fun. Some of the people in the crowd here were there. I recognized some faces from the other day and some of the staff members, but thanks to the district and especially security for helping us set that up and tear down and get us out in time to watch the Bills play.
Thank you, everybody. Anything else? Okay, that moves us on to report of meetings. Have we had any in the past few weeks? Mr. Moscato?
Thank you. I had the opportunity to attend the Monroe County School Board's Information Exchange meeting. The topic was agriculture in the classroom. I'm sure people tend to think of Monroe County as not being very rural, but we do have a fair amount of agriculture in the county. Obviously, in the surrounding counties, Wayne, Livingston, Ontario, Genesee, those counties, there's a lot of it. So the program talked about school food and relationship between farms and the schools. And so it was very interesting to see something that was a direct impact on the schools through the students and stuff. So it was a 4-H program as well. I know we don't think about 4-H as much, but believe me, it was well done, and I think it's something that students might be interested in. I think we tend to forget that agriculture is a big business. There's more to it than just simply planting and growing crops. And so for students, the options through BOCES to see what it's like is very fortunate. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other meetings? Okay. Do we have any visitor comments? None? All right. It's time for reports. I see you looking excited, guys. We are going to start off with our capital project update.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I think there's a lot of good news in tonight's report that Kurt will get to at the end. But to start off, in the last month, our contractors have been quite busy, as they have been since the start of the project. Starting off in the district office, our general contractor installed all the ceilings in the hallways, and then they carpeted all the offices, which have been painted as well. In fax, the wall painting is complete. The ceiling grid and tile installation is complete in the 2 kitchen classrooms, and then the paving and lawn grading on the outside of the building is complete at fax as well. High school technology, I've been talking about this for several months now, but the foundations are complete and backfilled as of last week. And then middle school technology, we've continued the wall framing and paving of the staging area outside of that space, which will serve as a temporary car parking lot for when we take over the music portion of the building. The plumbing contractor, they have continued to rough in the fax space as well as the sprinkler system in that space and the district office. And then they're working on the middle school technology underground plumbing that is nearing completion. Mechanically, the units in the district office have been started up. The conference room ductwork has been installed, and then the high school technology ductwork rough-in is starting. In the previous slide, there was a photo of some electric running to where the new dust collector systems will be going, and then they've started the middle school technology rough-in. Our electrician, they've started or actually completed as of yesterday, the conference room lighting installation in the district office conference rooms, as well as the hallway and skylight lighting, with the ceilings being dropped by the general contractor. It allowed the electrician to install the lights. And fax, power, and lighting devices being installed. And then the fax sewing room, all the sewing stations, their power is being run through the floor. That has been installed. And then ongoing rough-in at the high school and middle school technology areas. And then in fax and district office, they are nearing completion of all the data runs. For November, in the district office, we'll be installing the carpet in the hallways. This is a custom carpet, is a little behind on the general carpet that was installed in the offices. We'll hang doors and install the hardware on them, and then cabinetry installation throughout the space, and then final paint and start the final clean. The district has started logistic planning for the move-in date in December for this space. The high school fax, cabinetry layout, and then installation in December for that. Flooring throughout the space, and new doorways on the outside of the building into the space being completed in November. The high school technology, we hope to pour the concrete slab now that the foundations are done, and then start installing the structural steel for the rebuild of the building space. As you can see in this photo here, it's a rather large space. And then the MEP rough-ins will continue in that space once we start building the building structure. The middle school, steel reinforcement, there's a large skylight going in that space as well. That steel needs to be installed still. And then continued wall framing, it's another 13,000 square foot space. There's a lot for the contractor to do. And then MEP rough-ins inside of that wall framing. Project budget, our phase 1 contract has not changed, but we are 47% billed to date by our contractors. In terms of phase 2 dollars for award, which we will touch on at the end of this value has increased. There's been some updates to our financial planning. It was about $13.9 million. We're now anticipating $15 million to award for the phase 2 contracts. And then our contingency has not changed, and we still are holding our $250,000 in allowances for phase 1. Some photos. So this is the district office, the small conference room, painted, flooring installed, and then the light fixture in the center and lights around the outside. And this is a typical office in the district office. This is FAX, the southern kitchen room with the ceiling structure being installed, and then this is the same room with the tile dropped. The yellow is where the exhaust hoods will go for all the cooking islands for the students. This is a shot of the outside of the FAX. The southern portion of the building that we're looking at is the addition, and then the paving that has gone down since. High school technology, this is just a shot of where a sink will go in the space, and then new ductwork in the existing portion of the building. And then this is an aerial shot of all the foundation work that has gone in for the new rebuild of the 2 classrooms and wood storage space.
Who's the pilot of that?
In the middle school technology, this is the framing for the hallway down the center of the new space. And then this is framing for where the art room will be in the space. Now to talk about phase 2.
So phase 2 update. In February, we reported that we had submitted to SED the phase 2 documents for their review. We approximate 6 to 8 months, and it's been 8 months. And we're happy to report that we have gone through the 3 phases of review. We have been in communication and correspondence with SED. If you recall, it was a project manager review, an architecture review, and a mechanical review. Successfully went through all 3 of those. We've got our final approval as of the 17th, and we are prepared to put everything out to bid next week, going out November 5th. The intent is put that out to bid, accept bids December 10th in anticipation of de-scoping the contractors, the apparent low bidders, with coming to the district board on the 17th. Yeah, I think that was it.
And the lower portion of this graph is where we're anticipating construction in those 3 buildings. Florence Brasser, there's extensive renovations in that space as well as an addition for the new main office. The Gates Child Middle School is actually the turf fields as well as interior renovations for this space, a bathroom set, and some mechanical BCS items. And then the high school is BCS items, which is the summer of 2025. Any questions?
I have a silly one. What does MEP rough-in mean?
Oh, mechanical, electrical, plumbing.
Thank you.
So things like their conduits, they're just general duct work. The rough layouts, installing those. Finishing is when they're attaching like the diffusers and things like that.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Good job.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, not that we didn't love yours, we did, but we're excited to have Neil Armstrong and our 3rd and 5th graders join us.
Welcome again. Students, I want you to stay seated for right now. Mrs. Georger and I are going to present some of our instructional updates first, and we are going to end our presentation with our student voice because that's the most memorable part anyway. So, thank you so much for having us present here, focus on our school, and give us the opportunity to brag a little bit about the wonderful things we have going on. We would like to entice you on a journey, okay? We're all about a theme at Neil Armstrong. So we are launching dreams and landing success. We're going to walk you through a lot of the things that we're working on this particular school year with our school goals and some of our new initiatives that we're working on to improve student success and outcomes. The first thing we're going to do is outline a few of our goals. And the first goal that we want to focus on is boosting regular student attendance. Mrs. Georger, who's much taller than me.
So as you know, attendance rates and chronic absenteeism has been up since the pandemic. And so we're really focusing on getting our attendance rates at Armstrong back to what they are since the pandemic happened. And so we're really focusing on tier 1 attendance interventions in the whole school. So really wrapping our arms around all of our students, all of the families, and being able to find barriers to support them to make sure that we are getting our kids to school every single day. So we're really focusing on the importance of consistent attendance at Neil Armstrong and implementing those proactive strategies at school, such as assemblies, and really celebrating student attendance, increased attendance, and getting our students there every single day.
We also have adopted an academic philosophy at Armstrong this year. As you all know, literacy skills are essential for student success in the future, and reading is a fundamental right. I know that you've been updated from Office of Instruction. We are implementing new instructional tier 1 foundational skills and focusing on our students' ability to read. And all the board members, you have a little pin like all of our staff members have, because our focus is 100%. All means all at Neil Armstrong. We're not going to set a goal that 80% of our students are going to be reading on grade level, because I'm not comfortable with saying these 20 out of 100 don't deserve that right. So we're really focusing on building the foundational skills for each individual child and bridging gaps if they exist, providing enrichment to boost students further than where they were. We don't want to see kids plateau. We want to see them continue to grow and thrive. So we are very intentionally this year looking at student data and monitoring and adjusting our instruction based on that data so that every student has the opportunity to do as well as they absolutely can. Is it realistic that 100% of our kids will be grade level at the end of this year? Likely not, but we're really going to try because we are focusing on every child. Along with that, switch in our tier 1 instruction with the CKLA Amplify program is a tier 2 common 30-minute instructional block, if you will, every day for kindergarten through 5th grade. It's what I need. It's called win time. So every child is either accelerated, enriched, or working on foundational skills based on our data to help improve our student literacy scores. So we're very intentionally working on their phonics, their foundational skills, and literacy in general, so that they will be successful. And coupling the tier 1 new instructional strategies with tier 2 win time that's very focused on student needs, we're hopeful to see great gains throughout this school year. I'm excited to come back to the board next year and share how far our students have come.
So we are very proud to say that every single classroom at Armstrong begins their day with a community circle. So led by teachers, led by staff members, students are engaged in community building. We also have an amazing equity team that puts together a thoughtful Thursday for all staff members to do with the students in the classroom. So every Thursday, the entire school engages in a thoughtful Thursday community circle. So it's built around our theme that we have for the year that Becca will talk about in a bit. But we're also noticing that this restorative, or these community circles that we have every day,
are allowing students to build those social emotional skills that they need so that later when they do have conflicts, they engage in those restorative practices. We're really noticing students expressing their emotions, being able to repair that, the harm that's been done, and we have some leaders. So thinking about ways that we can have some restorative champions be able to lead some of our restorative circles in the future.
That's you too.
This year we also implemented a STAR room, so it's stop, think, and reflect. And it's for those students that sometimes might just need a little break. So we have an amazing student support team at Armstrong that helps to manage this room. So when a teacher calls and they need support, they go to the STAR room with the student, talk about how they're feeling, re-regulate them, address any issues they have, and then it's a quick turnaround so they can go back to the classroom and begin learning again.
And this was a shift in how we've responded to behavior calls in the past. We intentionally switched things up looking at data where we used to have student support team members assigned to specific grade levels, but we noticed kindergarten and first graders have a lot more need for emotional regulation as they're getting used to school and the school system. So we shifted, and it's based on the letter day. That's what depends on which staff member is being called. And the nice thing that we've seen, something very positive, since we've implemented this, our support calls have started to decrease. Our students are getting to know all of the people on the student support team rather than one person for a specific grade level, and it's allowing it's allowing them to build, more community building and connections across the building, which is, honestly nice, because if Miss Valenti wasn't available one particular day and sending a brand new face while a student's in crisis doesn't necessarily work. We've seen a lot of benefits with our entire team working with the entire student population. Sorry. We're going to continue our journey, stop 2 on the moon, if you will. And I want to talk a little bit about our One School, One theme this year and building a community of kindness amongst our students. This year, for the past several years, we've done One School, One book, and input from our equity team, we really wanted to expand for students in grades 3, 4, and 5 to engage in a chapter book. So grades K through 2, all students receive the book This is a School, and grades 3, 4, and 5 got that particular book as a read aloud in their classroom. Students who don't know this yet, so sneak peek, students in grades 3, 4, and 5 in the months of December, February, and March, depending on their grade level and where it fits really well in their curriculum, will be doing, and they'll all receive a chapter book called The Boy at the Back of the Class. And the primary grades will receive that book, one per classroom, as a read aloud option. There are cross themes throughout both of these books about kindness, acceptance, celebrating diversity and valuing that diversity, and building a sense of belonging for all. It also connects with our community school pilot, because all of these things hone in together. If you ever have the opportunity to walk through Armstrong, we actually have a big tree in the hallway with handprints where the students each put their name on the handprints, because we are an entire community, so many hands, one heart at Neil Armstrong School.
So we are very grateful to say that we are in year 1 of our community school model. And so back in the spring, Armstrong did a needs assessment, and then over the summer, there was various stakeholders that came together to analyze the data and came up with our goals, which are to improve the regular school attendance. There is the Tier 1 focus on academic and behavior, and also increased family and community involvement. And Cassie Kappen is our community school site coordinator, who is not here with us tonight, the GC Pride Award winner. But she is heavily involved in everything in our school to make sure that we are supporting our families, not only in these 3 goals, but in many different ways to make sure that our families feel welcomed in the school and supported.
And just for another additional shout out for Cassie, she's really an outside of the box thinker, and she has great connections across RCSD and Greece central school districts that have a lot of community schools already established and in place. So those connections and relationships have been very beneficial for us at Armstrong. So Greece in particular has been instrumental in helping lift some of our attendance resource and outreaches. And the part that everybody has been waiting for, because we really want to make sure that our students have leadership and engagement opportunities and that their voices are listened to and heard at Armstrong. Although they are young, their voices are loud and they're great advocators for the things that they need. So if the 4 students could please come up, Adam, Madison, Lily, and Jason. Oh, come on, you're excited. Come on, smile. Everybody's so excited to see you. All right. So Jason and Lily, I'd first like the 2 of you, you're both at, we'll get to you, don't worry, you're gonna end the show with your experiment. We'd like to find out from you what it is about student council that you're most looking forward to this year. Who wants to go?
The thing I'm most excited about for student council is probably choosing all of these rewards, because we can earn blue tickets and get rewards for how many blue tickets, because there's a certain amount. So we can sometimes help choose those and choose a bunch of fun days and stuff like that.
Jason, what about you? What are you most excited about for student council?
Probably just to have fun.
Okay, that's fair. And tell us, what are some of the things you do as a safety patrol that helps some of your the younger students?
Keep people safe by, if they're running, just tell them to walk.
And do they listen to you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I know. He's getting how it is as a grown-up. Thank you so much. Lily, tell us a little bit about the Taylor Swift Club. What is the highlight of Taylor Swift Club? Mind you, Taylor Swift was such a popular club, we had to split it into a 5th grade section and a 3rd and 4th grade section.
Probably all the fun activities we do, and sometimes so we can sit at tables with our friends, and sometimes while we're doing our work, at least at my table, we always listen to like music in the background, but that doesn't have the words or anything, so we just try to guess the song because it says it on the screen, and then we see if we're correct or wrong.
All right, thank you, Jason and Lily. All right, we have 2 3rd grade friends here who are very, very excited to be in clubs. So at Armstrong and the rest of the elementary schools, 3rd grade is the first year that you can be part of a club. And these 2 are in the Extreme Weather Club because we have a new literacy intervention teacher that actually went to college for meteorology to start. So she's got a lot of connections and has a few things lined up with potentially a newscaster meteorologist that'll be visiting our club in the upcoming weeks. But I would love for Madison and Adam to tell us about the fun things that they do in their club. Madison, tell us some of the fun things you do.
We learn about different stuff and like new stuff that some people don't know about. Like I thought that it would stay a tornado, but once it hits the ground, it's called a tornado. When it's not, it's called a funnel cloud.
All right, Adam, you want to talk more about tornadoes?
Yeah. Tornadoes are basically, so storm, so it needs a storm to form. A supercell is a storm that tornadoes need to form. And all supercells do not form tornadoes.
I have this.
Do you want to tell them what this is? Can you explain?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically you shake it, then it turns into a tornado.
All right. Do you want to walk up there and show all of those grown-ups? You want to go, Madison? Because you made one too, right? Yeah. Go. Oh. That does conclude our presentation. Does anybody have any questions for the boring grown-ups up here or the very fun children?
I have a question.
Lily, I would like to know, when does the Taylor Swift fan club meet? Because I would love to attend a meeting.
We meet after school on Thursdays every week until clubs end, and I forget when clubs end.
Thank you.
So we have so many after-school activities this week that this is a no club week, but they go up through the week prior to Thanksgiving. The third and fourth graders meet Tuesday after school, 3:45 to 4:30, and then fifth graders are Thursday, same time.
Ms. Kais, did you have a?
I just want to know if that is Armstrong blue. You both are dressed in blue.
Yes, Mrs. Georgia and I often coordinate our outfits based on the presentation that they're giving, that we're giving. Red Ribbon Week was a highlight yesterday. We both wore sequin pants.
I love that. Thank you guys so much. And the four of you that came up and spoke with us, thank you. I know it feels really awkward talking to all these adults you don't know, but you guys did great. Thank you all. Also, for the families that are here from Neil Armstrong, we of course would love to have you for the whole meeting. But if you have other places you need to go, now is a great time to exit if you want to. Thank you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, our final report for the evening is from our student ex officio, and your update, sir.
Good evening. Our homecoming at the high school went very smoothly, and I can proudly say that our seniors won almost every competition with one exception of the tug of war.
I heard about that.
And our talented male cheerleaders put on a quite interesting but an overall impressive show. And with Halloween coming up this Thursday, our seniors will be able to dress up in their costumes, and they will also have an opportunity to attend the senior Halloween breakfast. And today, the high school actually had a guest speaker where the students learned about the dangers of social media and how to combat the tactics that social media uses in order to draw our attention and distract us and use our time just for their advantage. And the speaker actually had students encouraged to delete their apps afterwards. And I just found the message of the whole presentation very meaningful, because I personally don't use social media because I understand all of the risks. But just looking around me at school, all the students are on their phones, they're all using social media, and I believe that the speaker definitely has an effect on this for the students. And I know in the last board meeting report, I promised all of you that I would collaborate with the other schools to report their updates, but unfortunately, this will have to be delayed to the next report of mine.
That's all right. That's all right.
So in the next report, hopefully I will have reports from the other schools. Thank you.
In all fairness, you shared Neil Armstrong tonight, so I mean, you're started. Thank you so much for your update. We appreciate it. All right, that moves us forward to discussion items. We have our policy committee update discussion piece.
We met a couple weeks ago, and we had 3 policies to look at. They were all ones that we have to adopt based on the change in Title IX regulations and its updates to our Title IX and sex discrimination policy 3421 And then based on that, they ended up splitting a different policy into now 7554 equal education opportunities and 7555 educational services for married and pregnant students. So based on that, we will be eliminating one policy that is being replaced by two based on the new policy being hopefully adopted tonight, 3421, based on federal regulations that we have to follow. We're already following them. This just formalizes it in a policy.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion around the first read of policy 3421, the one about Title IX and sex discrimination?
And these were all recommended by the policy committee.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion around the first read of policy 7554, equal educational opportunities? Any discussion around the first read of policy 7555, educational services for married and pregnant students? Thank you. That moves us forward to our consensus items. Can I have a motion to approve consensus agenda? Can I have a motion? Ms. Kais, Mr. Long, any discussion? All in favor? Vote is unanimous. Can I have a motion to approve consensus items C through G? Ms. Littlewood, Ms. Davis, any discussion? Yes, I see you two competing over there, thank you. All right, all in favor? The vote is unanimous. All right, that moves us forward then to action items. Can I have a motion to waive the second reading of policies 3421, 7554, and 7555? Can I have a motion? Mr. Long? Ms. Kais? Any discussion? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. Can I have a motion to approve policy 3421? Can I have a motion? Ms. Kais? Ms. Urbanowski? Any discussion? All in favor? Sorry, I didn't want to miss you if you were discussing. The vote is unanimous. Can I have a motion to approve policies 7554 and 7555, replacing policy 8130? Ms. Littlewood, Ms. Davis, any discussion? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. Can I have a motion to approve the MOA between GCCSD and GC Teachers Association regarding retiring before age 55 or 62? Can I have a motion? Ms. Kais, Ms. Urbanowski, any discussion? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. Can I have a motion to approve the MOA between GCCSD and the GC Teachers Association regarding related service providers? Can I have a motion? Ms. Littlewood, Mr. Long, any discussion? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. Can I have a motion to approve the MOA between GCCSD and GC School Nutrition Association regarding health insurance opt-out? Can I have a motion? Ms. Kais, Mr. Long, any discussion? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. That moves us now to superintendent's comments.
I was able to attend the high school play last week, and it was outstanding to see the kids put on a very clever, quick-paced show. It was all down in the lower bowl of the pack, and it was well attended, and it was a great night, very good entertainment. They did a wonderful job together, and it makes me excited for next month when we get to fall down the rabbit hole with our middle school at the Disney's Alice in Wonderland Junior. And again, that'll be on November 14th and 15th. So that's exciting as well. But again, a great job by our high school drama club. They did a phenomenal job. And like Mrs. Kais, I was able to attend the Dallas Brass. It was tremendous. Their ability to relate to the kids and the crowd and get everybody going was excellent. And just the talent that our kids have on display was wonderful. And it was a great fundraiser and experience for our students and for our community. Last week's homecoming was a blast, getting to see all the different games. The pep rallies, our first middle school one, which was nice, and then the high school one, it was interesting to watch the male cheerleaders. They do go right up to the line and sometimes cross it a little, but they have a lot of fun, which was great. But just the spirit of the Spartans was outstanding, culminating with the game Friday night. Outstanding attendance and everybody getting along. It was a great evening and a great week to be a Spartan. One of the cool opportunities I get as a superintendent is I get to be the guest reader every once in a while. And last week on Friday, after a long week, I was lucky enough to be the reader in the kindergarten classes at Florence Brasser. I got to read The Littlest Mummy and then learning about what everyone's going to be for Halloween. It was a great way to end the week. They didn't like my joke about what do you call the dad of a mummy family. You call him Daddy. They didn't get it. The teachers appreciated it, though, but the kindergartners, not so much. But it was great, and they had great suggestions on what the mummies could do for their dance next year, and it was a lot of fun being with them on Friday. Again, we talked tonight about our capital projects moving forward. Dr. Ball and I will be talking about our next capital project with the community, with 2 opportunities to get community feedback on November 4th at 12 p.m. in this room and 6 p.m. We'll be presenting the 2025 potential capital project and get community feedback while we're here. Again, 2 opportunities for our community to come in and talk with Dr. Ball and I after we do the presentation about their input on our goals for continuing to improve our district and providing a world-class environment for our students and community. And tonight you saw some pictures of district office over here being finished. Well, it's time to announce we will be moving the week of the 17th of December. So we'll be closing down the administration building for the week as we start moving over here Tuesday through Thursday in stage moving. A big credit to Dr. Ball and his team for organizing this, and we'll be moving in stages to get over and hopefully have everything up and running by the end of the day on the 19th. It's a nice goal to have, probably won't happen. But we'll have everything over here and getting ready. But it's exciting to see as it's starting to come together. And then once we get out of there, we'll start working on the admin building to get it ready for the next phase is the district operations building. So, and then also announcing that coming up, one of the best attended events we have here outside of athletic contests is our Fall Family Fest. That will be on November 7th from 5 to 7 p.m. where our community resources all come together from the town of Gates and Chili, and families are able to come in and see demonstrations as well as opportunities for what their family can do to engage with all the many resources we have here in Gates Chili for our community. It's a great night to get everyone together, and we look forward to having everyone here on November 7th. And last but not least, our good luck to our fall sports teams that are still either finishing up or playing in sectionals. We had volleyball tonight for girls, tomorrow's boys, and then Saturday is our cheerleading. So it's just an exciting time, and then you'll also see that due to our great facilities, we're hosting a lot of events for Section 5 as well, which are great fundraisers for our district. Our different booster clubs are running the concession stands and make a ton of money off of people trying to stay warm during this time of year, and it's a great fundraiser for them. But it's awesome to share our facilities with the community, and those of our teams that are still going, good luck to them, as well as our individuals that are involved in sectionals and eventually states. That is my report, ma'am.
Thank you so much. With that being said, I don't think there's any need for executive session this evening, so we will make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Have a motion? Ms. Littlewood? Ms. Davis? All in favor? The vote is unanimous. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.